Coming up on the next episode of Zuzu All Grown Up.
Look, Daddy, teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
You're now listening to Zuzu All Grown Up.
She's been featured in more than 20 films from the early days of film and television.
He is a psychotherapist and her loving husband.
Together, they are on a mission to brighten your day and your life.
It's a time to smile, a time to laugh, a time to expect more.
It's time to get inspired with your hosts, Karolyn Grimes and Dr. Chris Brunell.
It's time to meet Zuzu, all grown up.
Do you believe that life is wonderful in principle, but for some reason just isn't so consistently in practice? Every life will have its ups and downs. But have you ever thought that if there were only more people around you encouraging, uplifting, and even inspiring you, then life would be more fulfilling? If only people like George and Mary Bailey were in your inner circle, then life could truly be wonderful all the time? If so, we've got good news for you, because you can find such people on this podcast and at zuzunetwork.com. This podcast is the vision of Karolyn Grimes, Zuzu, and Dr. Chris Brunell, illustrating how the timeless message of It's a Wonderful Life can be and is applied to our modern lives and situations. Indeed, when you take that message to heart, your life will become immeasurably more wonderful. Visit us at zuzunetwork.com and listen to this podcast series to learn more about how. Now sit back, relax, and get ready to enjoy another episode of Zuzu, All Grown Up.
Today we have the privilege and absolute delight to invite Mr. Jimmy Hawkins to the show. Jimmy Hawkins played alongside Karolyn in It's a Wonderful Life, playing the role of her slightly younger brother, Tommy Bailey. He's also an accomplished actor, having appeared in everything from The Donna Reed Show to Annie Oakley, and even in film with Elvis Presley. He's also a well-recognized producer and author. He's here today to talk about his illustrious career, as well as shared memories with Karolyn from the set of It's a Wonderful Life, on today's very special episode of Zuzu, All Grown Up. Don't go away.
Get ready for miracles. Get ready for Zuzu, All Grown Up.
We're back with Jimmy Hawkins, actor and producer, and co-star of It's a Wonderful Life. Karolyn and Jimmy, Dr. Chris, I see you're already busy chatting away as old friends. So I'll turn the mics over to you.
Well, today we have joining us Jimmy Hawkins, and he has a very storied past. Many movies, many TV things, director. He's been everything in the movie industry at one time or another. And I'm really proud to call him our friend, you know?
Yes, he's been our friend for many years.
So, Jimmy, we're introducing you now, but mostly as my little brother in the movie, It's a Wonderful Life. He played Tommy.
Yeah. Always good talking to my older sister. We've had many chats for the last, 30 years now, isn't it? A little over 30 years doing this together.
So, yeah. It was actually 40 years. The Target tour was 93. You have had a long career in show business. I know you've done scads of movies, and you've done a lot of behind the camera situations, and you've directed, you've done everything. So can you kind of give us a short overview of what your life in the industry has been like?
My mom first walked me on to the MGM lot in 1943 to do a picture with Spencer Tracy. And while we were doing that picture, the AD, the assistant director, came up to my mom and said, on the next stage is Lana Turner. She's doing a movie, and they're looking for a kid. and they can't find one, and your kid would be perfect. So if we get something a little lull over here, I'd like to take you over there and introduce you to the director. So I got a great picture of my mom and I with Lana Turner, meeting her for the first time. When they saw me and talked back and forth, they signed me to do that film. So the next week I was on that movie. It just never stopped, especially at MGM. At our house, we called it MGM because I worked so much over there. I did a lot of films with even Lassie at MGM. Then I really started working a lot when television came in back in the late 40s. I did 176 shows. It was live television back then. Then when that series ended, I did a series called Annie Oakley, and that was for Gene Autry. Whenever we were not shooting the films, we'd go on tour to state and county fairs, and I had to act with my horse from the show. And we do rodeos and home shows, county fairs, everything. They kept us busy all summer. That was a great experience, meeting the people that enjoy the Annie Oakley series. I'd go out with myself, and sometimes I'd go out with Gail Davis, who played Annie Oakley. And then our boss, Gene Autry, I went out with him too for like 3-4 months at a time, the whole summer. We played town to town. Then I grew up. I got taller. My tag was 11 when he started. We were like over 16 when we stopped. The show went off. The Donna Reed show, there was a new series, and they needed a boyfriend for Shelley Fabre. They hired me for that. And 8 years later, I was still doing the show. Had a great relationship with Donna Reed. In fact, the very first show, we sat around a table to read the show. And I saw her at the end of the table. So I walked over to her and I said, excuse me, Miss Reed, my name is Jimmy Hawkins. I played your son, Tommy Bailey, in It's a Wonderful Life. She said, oh, yes, they told me they signed you. Oh, it's so great. She said, you know, we had a nickname for you on the set. What did you call me? She said, oh, we used to call you Rip Van Winkle. Why was that? She said, because you could sleep anytime while they were setting up shots. You would just fall asleep. And all this commotion be going on, lighting and everything. And then they'd go over when they were ready and shake you and wake you up, and you'd be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. And that's why we called you Rip Van Winkle. And I had a great relationship with her. And after the show, we'd have lunch. It was just a great experience. And then one year, we started a thing called the Donna Reed Festival. And some of the other cast from the movie went out to Denison, Iowa, to Donna Reed's hometown to celebrate the 50th anniversary. It was a great evening. I loved that evening. And I loved that everybody was there, not only to support Donna Reed, but they came at my invitation and really made it very, very special. I mean, to have all those people back there from the show, and here you are explaining what you did on the show and showed some footage of you doing the movie. And it just turned out to be a great, great evening. I thank you again. I've always appreciated.
Did you invite those storms too?
That's the ambiance of I have a funny story to tell. We first got there and there was no real motel. There was one across the street from a place called Crumps where you ate and they put on events there. It was kind of the only place to go in town. So we walked across the street and they said, well, you have to sign up and get your room. And they give you the key to the room and then hand you a light bulb. What is this for? Oh, well, you have to screw it in when you get in the room because a lot of people steal the light bulbs. I thought, oh my God, this is great. Everybody walking around with the light bulb looking for their room. It was a wonderful experience for 25 years. And then we started working together. A lot of people ask me, the second thing they always ask is about It's a Wonderful Life. And they're so wonderful to ask us all these questions. But then they say to me, how was Elvis? I've always been lucky to work with very nice people. It was just very special. But after doing over 400 movies and TV shows, I was just burnt out. I just didn't care to act anymore. I went into producing. And the first movie I produced was called Evel Knievel with George Hamilton. It turned out great, and it was a low budget film, cost $700,000. And it opened at the Grauman's Chinese Theater in Hollywood. There were people around the block waiting to get into the 10 o'clock show because the 8 o'clock show was packed. A great, great experience. It made a lot of money real quickly. And so I said, I like this. I didn't, when you're an actor, you come in at a certain part of the making of a movie. When you produce a film, you're there from day one. Get an idea, you got to hire a writer to write it. You have to hire a director, crew, and all this stuff to make the movie. You're there every day for maybe 6 months, prepping the movie, going on locations, picking the location. And I just love the experience of that. I didn't have to memorize any lines. It was great. And the people were nice. George was a very nice person. It was a great experience. So I liked it. And then that's when I started optioning other projects. But all the projects that I've done, and we've talked about this in the past, were uplifting, positive movies. People have asked me, well, why do you do those kind of films? I do those kind of films, whether it's the Life of Mother Seton or the Satchel Paige story or the story of the first CNI dog or whatever I pick to do is uplifting and positive. It shows people, if they go to the theater or watch on television, they see this lead character going through all these obstacles in life. They're really way, way down. And then at the end, they've fought their way back. And I do that because a lot of people are faced with the same problems. By seeing one of these movies, they said, well, if that guy, that lead character can go through that and come out on the other side a better person, maybe I can too. And so they stick with it. It's much like all the people that have come up to you, to us, through the years, and talk about Frank Capra, George Bailey wanting to commit suicide, and how he got through all that and realized that life is wonderful. And that's what these movies I do, the same kind of things. People come up to you, I hear it all the time, and say, oh, I was down and I thought of committing suicide, but I saw the movie and it gave me hope that I can be a better person. And it may be down now, but tomorrow it's going to be better. I just think, and that's kind of the way Capra made his movies, about the common man dealing with life. So I think that's very important. And I know all the people that we've talked to like to tell us their stories about how they've overcome obstacles. I don't know. That's kind of it in a nutshell. 80 some odd years in the business, and there it was in a nutshell in 5-10 minutes. But that's the way
very positive legacy that you're leaving behind.
Yeah. Right.
Love leads the way.
Love leads the way. I was at a family picnic at one of my cousins. We have a 4th of July picnic, and there's like over 100 people there for it. They have all sorts of games and contests. And I had one of my cousins come up to me. He said, I read a book and I'd like to get it to you. I said, oh, yeah, what's it about? He said, about the first CNI dog in America. I said, oh, really? Okay, well, tell me about it. I'll go pick it up or whatever. So I read the book and I just fell in love with it. And I took it everywhere. I took it to all the networks, took it everywhere, even took it to a dog food company to maybe they would sponsor it. Then one day I heard that Disney had a new channel on, and they were looking for uplifting movies. So we set up a meeting with them, pitched this thing. It was a book. I had a book for them and everything. They said, okay, that sounds very interesting. The lady that's head of development for Disney, just leave the script. We'll read it and get back to you. That's why we're here. You put up the money and we get a good writer to write it. Oh, we don't do that here. We just buy scripts that didn't work other places. But for our things we're looking for, that's fine. Because there's a lot of great scripts. They just decided not to shoot them for one reason or another. I said, oh, well, we don't have a script. What else are you looking for in case we come across the script? And she said, but would you do me a favor? Leave the book. Oh, okay. So left the book. And next day, she calls me. She said, who do you think could write the script? And I went, oh, great. There, boom, we're off to make a movie. And then we did all those steps. Got a screenwriter. And then we were scouting locations in Nashville, Tennessee, where the story actually happened. I was riding in the car with the head of the film commission because they wanted us to shoot it there. Of course, that's good for economy. So they were telling me, oh, Delbert Mann is on our board. I said, Delbert Mann? Delbert Mann was an Academy-winning director. And I said, well, how close? Does he work with you close? Oh, yeah, we have, everybody gets together. We have phone conversations and we call him and then he's in on the conversation. I said, you mean you have his phone number at home? Yes. I said, I want that, please. Because I don't like going through agents, not at all. So we called him at home, told him what it was about. He said, send me the script, read the script. He came on board. And then he was so well liked and loved. There are certain people we wanted for the movie. One of them was Eva Marie Saint. Just because she loves him so much, she loved the movie. Fell in all the way like that. Ralph Bellamy. Ernest Borgnine was reunited with this director because together they both won the Oscar the year that movie came out, called Marty. And Ernie Borgnine played Marty and Delbert Mann directed it. So here they were together again doing our dog movie, Love Leads the Way. And people just loved it. I mean, if you could get the Kleenex concession for that, you'd make more than you made doing the movie. People loved it and was really into it. It just was a movie. I've never seen anybody play a blind man like he did. You know, usually people just are looking off. And then before every take, when they say, okay, roll them, okay. And right before action, he would put his finger up in front of his eye and he'd concentrate one eye on the finger and one down the road someplace. And he looked like a real blind person. There's a certain look and he could get into it like that. I just thought he was a fabulous actor, great guy to work with. We did that, and then you look for the next one. Usually you try to get other projects going so that you can, you know, go from one to the other. But I did The Life of Mother Seton, America's First Saint. She had to overcome great obstacles. I saw a kid on television. His name was Gary Coleman, and he was becoming very hot at NBC. And I said, oh, I like him. I think he's good. I'd love to do a picture with him. So I looked back on all the movies I had done. One of them was Mr. Scoutmaster. And I thought, oh, that was a good picture. I came up with a storyline and pitched it to the network. And they said, great, you get Gary Coleman, we'll do it. I said, well, call his people and tell them I want a meeting with them. So, yeah, okay, that's fine. I met with them. And it turned out the director who directed that movie in 1951 or 2, whenever I did that, was still directing. And so I brought him in to direct it. I said, he's great with kids. He'll be great with Gary. And they would always play good cop, bad cop. And then, oh, he's great. You know, he's done huge movies, Cinerama pictures. He's just a very prolific director and well-respected. But then the other one said, well, he's kind of old. He was like 71 at the time. He says, you know, he could drop dead. He said, whoa. I said, oh, yeah, I'm sure he's going to drop dead right on the set. Yeah, he did. Oh. So, oh, my God. I mean, it's laughable when you're sitting there with him. Oh, he's going to die, 71. Look at us. We're in our 80s and we're still going. So, you know, I would think, oh, sure, he's going to die. Right. Hey, we couldn't get anybody better. He'd be great. Well, okay. Then he did. Oh, my God. So it's really been exciting. I love the process of, you know, developing the movie, putting it, this is where the story should go. And, you know, talk to the writer. I think this would be good here. What do you think? And I just love it. I love being on a movie set. I love a sound stage. It's just been a wonderful experience. And it's always uplifting to see these films do what they do. I just have liked the business. And I've written 5 books about It's a Wonderful Life. It's always fun to go and see a stack of books in the bookstores and then they're all sold out and they have to get more. You know, it's always fun. So, and the people love them. They're very informative. And you, of course, have shared wonderful stories that are in the books. Some great photos. You took some great photos from It's Wonderful Life. They were just classics. We started having a discussion about 40 years ago when we first got together and talked about being on the movie and the rap party. And I came up with this story, and then you and Carol would kid me about it. And I said, no, I really did that. But there was no proof of it, you know. So
we don't know what it is yet.
So we're talking about a watermelon eating contest.
Yes, at the picnic, right.
Yeah. It's at the picnic. And to my listeners, this kid is like 4 years old. And he said he won the watermelon eating contest.
And I did.
Carol and I both said, oh, good grief, that can't be. No way.
Yeah, for 40 years I hear this.
He heard that for a long time.
I said, no, I didn't. I'm telling somebody that they're talking to. He says he does. What did you do that made you win that contest? How did you eat
They don't know.
Well, yeah, of course I won, but I had no proof. I kept telling you, girl, I won. No, you didn't. how did you win? I said, well, remember, everybody else would eat the watermelon and then they spit out the seeds. I never spit out. I just swallowed them and kept going. And that was it. So, but I had to hear it for all those years that,
you didn't win.
Mr. Wacko. Yeah. So something happened. All of a sudden, something happened. We were asked by the Motion Picture Academy to show the movie on the 70th anniversary in the big Academy Award Theater on Wilshire. And we went there, it was jam-packed, people waiting around the block hoping somebody wouldn't pick up their tickets. And it was a wonderful evening. But they said, we have a surprise for you kids. They always called us kids. Here's 80-year-old people walking. Oh, the kids are here. Oh, good. That's always fun there. So we look over. Oh, the kids are here. Where are they? They said, we have something to show you and the audience tonight. It's never, ever been seen before. We uncovered it and blah, blah, blah. Well, apparently, some crew member from It's a Wonderful Life, and there was over 300 people at this picnic out at Lake Malibu that had a great day. They had a great day planned. Baseball, three-legged races, and watermelon eating contest. So all of a sudden, up on the screen comes this Super 8 millimeter thing at the Academy Theater. It was like, 2 stories high, this huge 9 minutes of the picnic. And so we're watching it, and all of a sudden, we're at a watermelon eating contest. Whoever took the picture must have loved us kids.
It's true.
They kept coming back to us doing something. Now there are pictures panning all the kids that are eating the watermelon. All of a sudden, I stand up and I looked at you two girls. We're all sitting together in the academy. Well, speak up now. So there was living proof.
We ate crow for a while.
I still am. Yes. So, but it was very funny. And I always ate watermelon like that. And my mom would say, watermelon's going to grow in your stomach. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. No. Great stories that we have been able to share. Things that we've done that nobody could ever do. We rang the bell at the stock exchange. We appeared at the Empire State Building for Walgreens. And we went to Attica Prison one night, met with the inmates. They had seen the film. They had shown the film to them a week or two before we came in. Then the night came that we were there. Had all these inmates that wanted to meet us and talk about the film in the chapel. It was a wonderful evening. They were so bright. They all had their pads with their notes and everything on it to ask us questions. We both shared with them the answers to these questions they had, because there's not many people that can ask us something about It's a Wonderful Life that we didn't experience or didn't hear firsthand about it. So we've loved Frank Capra's message, and that's why we've gone out and met so many nice people, because we want to carry his message. We don't act like, oh, we're a big deal. We had so much to do, because we only worked on the film for 12 days. We got to go places and meet people all over the United States, from Portland to LA to New Jersey to Florida. I mean, they had us going everywhere all through that holiday. Target had a big party and brought a lot of their gifts to all the people at the Motion Picture Home. And they had a big party, and every TV station in town were there to capture us with the people at the Motion Picture Home. I mean, we just have experienced so much, and it's just been great to talk to the people about the movie. And of all the kids in Hollywood, they picked us.
That's right.
And I've always told people, wherever we go, that Capra was exceptionally lucky to have you. Not just because you did a great job for the movie, and that's what he was concerned about, but for getting together and have you personality that you did have, and the time that you spend with each and every one of the fans coming up to us. You just take your time with them. Not that I didn't, but you did, went above and beyond. I mean, you make that little bell for each one, and line is packing up, and we're talking to inmates. Oh, how long do you have left? Oh, I'll be out 32 years. 32 years. Oh my my God. So, but you're so patient with them making the bell. All I have to do is burp on the picture or whatever, but you have to make a little bell. Carol had to make a note because she always played the piano. I was stuck with a burp. It's been great. It's been uplifting, very positive experience. I think that's what you do with your podcast. You try to get uplifting people to tell their stories, to let other people know it can be bad, but it's going to turn around. You've got to believe and know that it will. If you have the gift, whatever business you're in, you'll make it.
Tell us about your production of the radio version.
Wonderful Life raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for a couple charities that night. Pediatric AIDS and PBS for all their viewers to dedicate their monies to what PBS is all about. We invited you and you came and it was incredible because here the people are from the movie and they're about to see the radio version. And the radio version was exactly like the movie. And we had a orchestra and we got the music rights from the Dimitri Tiomkin estates. They gave it to us. They didn't charge us or anything. I'd had dinner with Dimitri Tiomkin's wife. She just liked what we were doing. And she said, anytime you want it, it's yours. Don't worry about it. We want the music like it was in the movie. I said, oh, we appreciate it so much. And that evening, all these great stars got together to do this charitable fundraiser. And they were there all day rehearsing, couple run-throughs, and then it came on live. Things happen, and I like that because one of the actors dropped the script during the performance, and then somebody had to come to the rescue, but Sally Field was there, and Nathan Lane played Clarence. It just was an all-star cast that people loved. They packed Pasadena Playhouse, and then, of course, it did extremely well on PBS. And there you were again in support of it because it's a good cause. Anything that It's a Wonderful Life can do to raise money, lift the spirits of people. Anyway, tell me, how did this show come about? I mean, it's a great message, and you're the perfect one to carry it. How did it happen? This is fabulous that people are putting time and effort into something really uplifting and positive.
We were in person's living room visiting them, and we were watching TV. He and I were, I guess, talking back and forth about the TV show. And Kevin Stillmock, we were with him and his mother. He said, you really know how to work with each other. Would you be willing to do a podcast? So we thought about it for a while, and we asked him kind of how it would go. It's about good things, and we only talk about helping others in the world. We only interview people who have done something, who are with a charity, or who have had a situation where they're still continuing to give of themselves or a charity of some kind. And it's all about giving and making the world a better place. That's what we've been doing. Working out pretty good. We like it.
Yeah.
Like it a lot.
And you are a great addition to
Yes, you are.
to our show.
Well, that's nice.
My gosh, you've worked with everybody.
Yeah.
And you've done everything valuable.
Mm-hmm.
There's all room for all kinds of stuff. People say, oh, they made this awful movie. Well, there's room. You don't have to go see it, And a lot of good uplifting pictures. I said, well, did you see so-and-so? Oh, no. I said, well, that's why they don't make those movies, because you don't go to see them. So they just think, oh, this is the one that everybody went to last weekend, so let's make a lot of those. But you got to support them when they do. There's room for a lot of things now. Different channels.
You were able to start coming to the It's a Wonderful Life Festival in Seneca Falls after a while. And once you got there, it's like, oh, yeah, this is it.
Because of the people working there and the town, it's contagious. You just like to go there and meet the people. And then there's a nice place where people from the movie have gathered, whether, they touched somebody who was in the movie, the son of, the daughter of. People are interested in talking to, and now we're the last three standing. And Carol, because of some health issues, she hasn't been able to come lately, but she was there, boy, for you for 10 years or so, maybe more. That was great. I mean, the people actually get to see the people who were there.
Right.
That they just seem to marvel at that. Oh my God. People say, are you still alive? Made it in the year of the flood or something.
There is that.
Well,
the bells are nice too, to put on the bridge for someone that you
Oh, yeah, that's why I'm saying there's so many little touches that people can remind. Maybe they lost somebody that year. So they buy the bell, and they have a ceremony, and they put up the bells. And now there's thousands and thousands of bells all over that bridge of people sharing, people that have received their wings.
Yes.
Larry
Sims.
Larry had one of the greatest lines I ever heard from all the places we've gone through the years. And he was very quiet. It was very difficult to get him to go with us in Target stores. But once he got there, I think he started enjoying it. And at the time, he had never seen the movie. That was really something, because we've all seen it. But then the people, different radio, TV stations we went to, they could ask, well, what did you do? He said, I never saw the movie. And that made for great conversation. So
he played Petey, right? Remember?
Yeah, he was the oldest. He was the guy, how do you spell this? How do you spell that? But he had an interesting life the way he lived it. I remember doing this one television show. And so we talked about our salary. I had found a sheet that had our 4 names on it, what salaries we got each day for doing the movie. Larry, he got $100 a day. You and Janie, Carol, got $75 a day. And Tommy Bailey, that me, I got $50 a day. Announcer at doing the morning show said, you told us you all had the same agent and you all worked 12 days on the movie. Why do you think you got that pay rate? Why did you get 100? They got 75 and he got $50. Why?
We'll join Karolyn and Chris in just a moment with more of Zuzu All Grown Up.
First, an important message.
Start your morning right with premium coffee roasts available at ZuzuNetwork.com and drink them in your Zuzu All Grown Up coffee mug. Also perfect for tea and hot chocolate.
Stay inspired throughout the day with the same gratitude journal used by Karolyn and Chris, and check out t-shirts, hats, books, Christmas keepsakes, and more at ZuzuNetwork.com/shop.
Are you wondering whether to sell or donate the car you no longer need or want? Consider that. Donating it to a legitimate, legally recognized nonprofit organization, not only will you receive a tax deduction, but you'll be contributing to a worthy cause. Finding a worthy nonprofit organization can be time-consuming and even a bit stressful. I'm here to present to you one of the most amazing, legitimate 501c3 nonprofit organizations in the world. The United Breast Cancer Foundation. The UBCF provides screenings, treatments, aftercare services, educational materials, as well as patient and family assistance. We ask that you help in that mission by donating your unwanted or unused vehicle to the UBCF. Simply call 888-842-5505. The process is fast and easy. Call 888-842-5505. 888-842-5505. Help us in our mission and get a tax deduction. Call 888-842-5505. Thank you for your support.
A careless driver can change your life in an instant. Do you know what to do or who to call? If you've been injured in a motor vehicle accident and don't have an attorney, call Auto Accident Help Desk for a free consultation. We can answer all of your questions and estimate the potential value of your case. Call Auto Accident Help Desk and connect with an expert personal injury attorney.
Call 800-297-9766. 800-297-9766.
Don't worry how to handle your medical bills, lost wages, and pain. We will get you the money you deserve.
They got me way more than the insurance company offered.
The consultation is free, and you don't pay any legal fees unless we win or settle your case. Make the smart call if you've been injured in an auto accident. Call Auto Accident Help Desk for a free legal consultation.
Call 800-297-9766. 800-297-9766. 800-297-9766.
Auto Accident Help Desk.
Join Zuzu's network today at ZuzuNetwork.com/join.
Karolyn is creating an international network of aspiring angels, everyday people who believe that they can help make the world a better place by making life better for even just one other person.
Let us know you want to earn your wings at ZuzuNetwork.com/join, and Karolyn and Chris will send you inspirational material to support you in your journey.
We're back with more Zuzu All Grown Up.
And Larry came up with one of the greatest lines. And here he is. He never talked or never volunteered anything. And he said, well, they must have paid us by the pound. It was a great line, one of the funniest. And you got to remember where it came from.
You spent many, many years taking care of your mother, and she finally got her wings, but you never put her in a home or you kept her in your home and took care of her personally. What did you learn from that experience?
What I didn't want is I prayed to God. I said, look, I want a couple things. I don't want money. I don't want a car or anything. She wants to die in her own bed. I want to be holding her hands and taking her from this world to let her go to the next one. I don't want to walk around for the next 8 months depressed and all down on it. I was sitting in the room with her. All of a sudden, I got up. There was no reason to get up. She was laying in the bed like she had so long. And I walked around the bed and I took her hand, and then she kind of talked to me, and I'd say something to her. It was like she could really hear. She was having trouble. She was 6 days away from 100 years old. So I held her hand and she talked, and we talked back and forth. I put her hand down. I walked back to my seat and I looked back at her, and then I scrunched down to see if her chest was raising with air in it. She was gone. But I know God let me have my wish that I was holy. So when she went on to the next life, whoever was on the other end was there to greet her. And I was never depressed about it. And to this day, I never cried, because I know she did a great job while she was here. There's other stories connected. My mom was adopted. Her parents died when she was like 3 years old. Her mother had 3 sisters, and each sister took one of the kids and raised them. My mom got great parents. My grandparents were incredible people. I thought, wow, she was lucky. And she always understood that somebody took her in when they had a choice or not. This came about me, an opportunity to take care of a family member while somebody was going through some problems. Problems were supposed to be over in 2 to 3 months at the most. And it was over 3 years. And this little boy from 2.5 to 5 stayed with us. And my mom, she was driving till she was 95. And she was 80 something at the time. She made meals for him, would ask, what do you want tonight? Oh, I want this. And she never moaned, or she was lucky to be doing this. I was very lucky to have a parent like that. Grateful, understanding a little boy, 2.5 years of age comes into your life. I was 56, 58 at the time, and I had always stayed away from anything like that, any responsibility. I just didn't think I could cope with it. Out to be. If they said, what is the greatest memory you have in your life? And I'd say, raising that little boy for 3 years. Nothing can compare with it. I see people and I go, why don't they show pictures of it? It's such a great thing to have. I mean, look at how many children you have. And it's just great. I've talked to people. I say, well, you should have a child. I say, you think it's bad, but it's not bad. And they look at me, yeah, sure. I was lucky, very lucky. It was nothing to have that. She was never a problem. She got dementia and Alzheimer's, and to see a parent go through that, somebody that was so take charge and take you to the studio and like that, and then they're just like a little baby themselves now. When that part of my life was over, that's when I called you and I said, am I still invited? Let's do Santa Claus. That's something when they have that Zuzu breakfast, talk all about you coming to this little town, and the story about you getting to the town, somebody telling you, oh, you should go there, I'll call them. And you're at this town at the little Clarence's ice cream parlor, writing autographs. And now, 21, almost 22 later, the town has this huge festival. People come from all over the world to meet with us, and or there has been for 10, 12 years, I guess, museum. And we've given stuff about us to the museum. And people seem to enjoy it. It brings back memories, a lot of photos from the movie. And then other things that we've done in life that, are kind of connected with the movies. And they seem to like it. And now they're going to be building a beautiful new museum. And I think the people even enjoy it even more. There'll be more and bigger memories with a bigger site and everything. It's just been great to be able to finish that one thing and then move into what you're doing at Christmas time at this town and how it's grown. And every time we have a 60th or 65th or 70th anniversary, all the major networks are there. People send their crews from Europe to talk to us and capture stories about the movie and what do we remember about movies. And they can't get over that. For some reason, we remember small things about doing the movie. I've done movies and I see the movie and I don't even remember going to the studio or getting to the studio, nothing. I go, always like that actor. I would have thought I'd never forget being in a movie with them. And it's like I'm seeing it for the first time. And I was in it. There you are. I don't remember doing that line on that set. And then yet at 4.5, you at 5 would remember everything. It's incredible. It's not like somebody, oh, well, you used to do this. No, you say, no, here's what I did. I got up early in the morning. I went there. It's just uplifting.
We'll join Karolyn and Chris in just a moment with more of Zuzu All Grown Up.
First, an important message.
To find out more about the organization featured in today's episode or a previous episode and to learn more about how you can help, go to zuzunetwork.com/beanangel.
Ever tried balancing a dozen eggs in one hand while hopping on one foot? Or maybe juggling cats while riding the unicycle? Sounds ridiculous, right? But guess what? That's exactly what texting while driving is like. Your human brain only has the capacity to focus on one thing at a time. So when you're behind the wheel, give driving your undivided attention.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
This is an important announcement for anyone who wants health insurance, even if you missed the deadline. That's right. Don't worry if you missed the deadline for open enrollment. Right now, you can get the health insurance you and your family need from top insurance providers, even if you have pre-existing conditions or no insurance at all. The Plus Benefits Health Insurance toll-free number has been extended to help anyone who wants health insurance coverage now, or anyone who just needs a better plan or a lower price. Did you miss the penalty deadline, have a baby, get married, or get dropped from your plan? Don't worry, plans are available now, and in just minutes, we will help you find the right plan that's best for you and your budget. Call Plus Benefits Health Insurance now at 800-332-1993. The call is 100% free and the help is real. You can finally get health insurance that's right for you. But hurry and get covered before it's too late.
Call 800-332-1993 now to find the best plan at the lowest price. Call 800-332-1993. That's 800-332-1993. 800-332-1993.
Imagine having all the money you need for retirement, all the income, every month, guaranteed. That's Secure Future Investor. Secure Future utilizes an indexed annuity tied to growth in the U.S. stock market, but without any risk of loss ever. That's right. No matter what happens in the market, your investment can never decline. Down years, you're insured against any losses. Boom years, your retirement account grows exponentially to increase your worth. Whether the market is up or down, Secure Future Investor can set you up with guaranteed money for life income. It's the difference between thinking you have enough money to retire and knowing you're getting that retirement check every single month for the rest of your life, no matter how long you live. Over 40 years old? Call now. 888-288-7088. 888-288-7088. Sponsored by GP Agency, Inc., Raleigh, North Carolina. Licensed in all states. Performance may vary. Consult with your financial professional before making an investment decision.
1 out of 8 women in the United States will be diagnosed with breast cancer in her lifetime. And the chances are you know at least one person who's been personally affected. But right now, you can help. It's simple. Donate your unwanted vehicle, RV, or trailer to the United Breast Cancer Foundation. It's the easiest way to contribute to one of the nation's leading charitable organizations. The process is fast, easy, and free. Not only will you be helping, but you'll also receive a tax deduction. The United Breast Cancer Foundation offers an array of programs and services that help and support families and individuals dealing with breast cancer. But we can't do it alone. We need your help. Simply give us a call to get started, and we'll schedule a pickup date that is convenient for you. If you have any questions you would like answered before initiating the donation process, please feel free to call us toll-free at 800-324-6218. That's 800-324-6218. 800-324-6218.
Zuzu's book club features recommendations from Zuzu herself on books she loves and thinks you will love also. All of the books that the club reads, fiction and nonfiction, are inspirational and uplifting. Folks, this is a life-enhancing club to be part of. You can sign up for free at zuzunetwork.com/book club. That's zuzunetwork.com/book club. Watch a video clip of today's episode at www.instagram.com/Zuzu, all grown up. That's www.instagram.com/Zuzu, all grown up. Then click on the Reels tab from the top of the center of the page. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at www.instagram.com/Zuzu, all grown up. That's www.instagram.com/Zuzu, all grown up. Catch up on past episodes and discover currently premiering and upcoming episodes as well, and get helpful links and exclusive clips from our recordings. That's www.instagram.com/Zuzu, all grown up.
This is Zuzu, all grown up.
I have a scene where I'm sitting on Jimmy Stewart's lap, putting tinsel on and he's there depressed, thinking of the $8,000. He's just his brother's coming for a big celebration, just won the Congressional Medal of Honor, and now this terrible thing, as if he had absconded with money, and he's just depressed, and we're all doing stuff, getting ready for Christmas Eve, and I'm talking to my daddy, and Janie's pounding on the piano, and all of a sudden, and this is in rehearsals and in tape, he grabs me and pulls me into him. And then he's just holding on to me very tightly. And boy, he did it for the first rehearsal. Now, I'm wearing this Santa Claus mask around my neck. And every time he pulled me in, the mask would hike up automatically. And the inside of the mask was like sandpaper. And so it would hit my cheek and scrape my cheap. So now they are doing it again. And he did like 4 or 5 times. And I went, oh no, this man's going to grab you again. And the mask is going to come up and it's going to scrape your cheek. Oh, you're getting set for it. But if you look closely, I don't flinch at all. I don't go, uh-oh, something coming. Oh, brace yourself. Oh, guy, why does this man do this? Oh, no, he's doing it there. Oh, boy. So I never forgot that. That's something. I don't care if you're 2, you'd probably remember it. But that was very interesting to do that scene. I remember Eva Marie saying, that reminds me, because you think of things, a movie, I Can't Flinch, or whatever. She did a movie called North by Northwest, Cary Grant. And there's a scene inside Mount Rushmore, like where everybody ate or something. Somebody comes in and shoots somebody. Cary Grant with other man, they're doing a scene together. Eva says, I'm doing personal appearances or something, or talking about my career. And these fans came up and told me this story. And like I knew it happened. And I'd never heard it before, never noticed it before. So when that scene is going on and the guy pulls the gun, they told her, look in the background, Eva. There's a little boy having lunch with hundreds of other people. But the little boy, right before the gun goes off, puts his fingers in his ear because it's going to be so loud. And he rehearsed it and shot it just like me with the thing. Oh, God, he's going to do it again. Well, this little kid in the background is going like this. It's in the movie. And she said, can you believe what people remember? And people have told us stories. Oh, I saw this. And they tell us things. They know that picture word by word. It's very interesting.
Will you share your famous line from the movie with Jimmy Stewart with the audience?
It's the way that Frank Capra set it up. Turned out to be interesting to me. And 50 years later, I asked him, we were at some function together. We leave the living room and we're walking towards the kitchen in this scene. We start going through it. The cameraman's there to see the lighting and see what the actors are going to do so he can light it after we rehearse it. we come out of the room, and all of a sudden, Capper stops Jimmy Stewart and Donna Reed. Stop. Everybody stop right where you are. And then he came over to me and he squatted down. He said, see where you are right now? Yes. I want you to pull on this man's coattail. Say, excuse me. Right here. We're going to be going. So when we get here, and I looked at the carpet and I remember. You remember where you are? Yes, sir. Okay. Okay. Dude, say, excuse me. Pull on this thing. All right, everybody, let's go again. So we start going. He said, everybody stop again. And then he tells me again, see where you are now? And he explained everything. Yes. Okay. When you get here, pull on the thing, say, excuse me again. Got that? Yeah. And there's one more at the door. We rehearsed it and they came back, and now it's lighting. Now we're coming through. And we took it about 3 or 4 times, saying, excuse me. No, you good? No, good. Now, we did it one time. I was like a beat off. But Larry Sims was so good of an actor. I just burped, just waited 1 second too long to say the line. And he picked right up. So it didn't go, oh, something happened, but they kept it in. I didn't say, excuse me, the second time, right on time. Said it a little later. Then the last word. And then all of a sudden, they said, okay, cut. And I went, oh, they're going to have to do it again because I screwed it up. And isn't that funny? You can know what's going through that little kid's head when that scene's going by. I go, he was thinking, uh-oh, I should have said, excuse me. Oh, shoot. Isn't that funny? I'm 4 years old, you know, right? That kid is thinking this. He said, okay, cut, print it. I screwed up. Didn't he see that? So 50 years later, I asked him this question. What was the most difficult scene to direct in the whole movie? He said, oh, that's simple. One with you kids. It was just so difficult because there were so many layers to it. Here you have the kid asking his parents, how do you spell this? Your old girl pounding on the piano. Got you, excuse me, I burped. And you got Jimmy Stewart thinking, this is awful. This is going to be bad for my brother. And it just had so many layers to it that you could laugh at the scene and not with it if it isn't played correct. And if you see that today, that whole scene just came off like a real family would be in that situation. And I said, well, yeah, but, you know, I didn't say one of the excuse me lines right exactly on time. Why did you not take it over? He said, because it seemed that. So questions that a little kid at 4.5 has from a man 50, 60 years later. Why did you print that? What was the most difficult? Why would a little kid even ask a question like that? Why'd you print it? But that's what I did. I looked at him and they cut. Okay, that's it.
You could relay one message to the audience and to the fans of the film. What would that be?
Well, I think it's really the theme of the whole movie itself, that we're all important. We can all make a difference. One man can make a difference. And you don't even know you did it. You may have only been put on earth to be at that signal to when that person drove through the intersection, looked over, and you smiled or something. And that's the only reason God put you here. You have to be here to do that to that person at that moment, because that's going to change their life. So one man can make a difference, and he does make a difference. And it's our choice to make a difference in people's lives. Some people just go through life. They're not good. They're not bad. They just do what they have. But there are a lot of givers and there's a lot of takers. But it's better to give than take. I've learned that. I know that. I just wouldn't think anything else. It's just the way it is. And if enough people think that way, it will be a better life. It can be a wonderful life. What is the one thing that you've done in your life that you said, I'm glad I was there for that moment, or I'm glad, or I know now I was chosen. Somebody tapped me on the shoulder, because you don't think so. You were rewarded your $75 and for 12 days and got that reward and done other fine movies with as big as stars that were in It's a Wonderful Life. But your biggest job in life was what you're doing today. You were just born for that, no doubt about it. No doubt. That was your intersection. And you're standing at that intersection, and all these people are going by, and you're giving them a positive message that you don't know how much you change those people's life when you look up at them and put that little bell. You've done it. Truly been born to do that. No doubt about it. for all the kids that were in the business at that time and all the interviews. I didn't just go on one interview for that. There was 2 or 3 of schlepping out to Culver City and meeting people again. And when they took us on the set, they were rehearsing inside the house. And then all of a sudden, Jimmy Stewart and Donna Reed came out on the porch, and the still photographer from the studio was there to snap that picture of that. And he looked, he said, "That's my baby family. There it is." And that was for all eternity. This is going to touch lives for the better. He certainly did his job. And he said it himself. It's the film I was born to make.
Well said.
He knew that. All those other pictures he had done, all the war he was in, all those experiences he put on that film. That was huge. You look at somebody's desk, Old Man Potter's desk, there's things on it. He said, "I want this. This tells a whole story. That skull tells a whole story if you know anything about the skull." And you go, wow, that thing, hey, wow. So all those things and all your room, the way your room was, all tells who you were, who the parents were. We were the kind of people that were chosen not only to do that, but there's work to be done a long time from now. And people will know you've passed this way. You were Zuzu, and you have a unique name, and you have a unique personality that you take to all the people, and it's great. And we'll do it until he wants us to be someplace else to do something else. And we should be proud of that. But we never do it with the knowledge of, well, I'm doing it for this. Or, no, it's second nature. I've told my parents, oh, they had me doing this. I went to some personal appearance today for the Cub Scouts of America, and they had me do this. I don't want that man to be able to talk to me like that, or, whatever the problem was. They said, that's fine. But while you're there, you act like you're supposed to. And if you tell us, well, you'll never have to do it again. But you make the best out of it. Don't walk around, what am I doing here? No, you act the way you should act. But then you'll never have to do that again. Okay, that was fair of them,
Thank you very much for joining us today. It's wonderful that you have so many great memories and that you shared it with us.
I can see what they were talking about when they say the two of you do work well together. You complement each other. So that's important. That's great. That's why I didn't know that you both did a podcast. Be good. Thank you again. And best of luck with all the shows after this, too.
Thank you.
I was on for years.
Okay.
All righty. Be well. Bye-bye.
Do you know someone who is earning their wings? Someone practicing kindness and service to others? Perhaps an organization or initiative helping make the world we live in a kinder, sweeter place.
Or maybe you've witnessed the miraculous, the divine, the magnificent in some way in your life, and you'd like to share it with others. Go to zuzunetwork.com/tellmystory and let us know more.
You may end up being featured on an upcoming episode of Zuzu All Grown Up. That's zuzunetwork.com/tellmystory. Now here's Seth Kennedy with today's parting thoughts.
Mr. Jimmy Hawkins, it's been wonderful taking this walk down memory lane with you and Karolyn. A special thank you to you, not just for appearing on the show, but for all the work you still do to keep It's a Wonderful Life and its message relevant today. We'll be right back. You're listening to Zuzu, All Grown Up.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Zuzu All Grown Up.
We hope you've been inspired to live your most wonderful life now and to help those around you do the same.
Remember, no matter what you're going through, no matter who you are, there are people who care about you and your life makes a difference.
It is a wonderful life.
Check out zuzunetwork.com for more on today's and other episodes, including transcripts and merchandise you won't want to be without.
New episodes are coming soon.
For transcripts of today's broadcast, go to zuzunetwork.com/transcripts. Zuzu All Grown Up with your hosts Karolyn Grimes and Dr. Chris Brunell.
Announcer and guide Seth Kennedy.
Executive producer Kevin R. Stillmock.
Coordinating producer Holly Ann Way.
Technical producer Stella Joelle.
Managing producer Karina Filatova. A Wonderful Land production.
In collaboration with Radio Wonderful.